Hello, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Good night to all listeners, wherever you are. Before I begin, let me apologize for the late start, but don't hold it against me. Anyhow, we are here. Let us begin tonight's program by reading from Proverbs chapter 26, verse 23 to 28. Burning lips and a wicked heart are like a potsherd covered with silver dross. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and lay up deceit within him. When he speaketh graciously, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be exposed before the whole population. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it shall return upon him. A lying tongue hateth those affected by it, and a flattering tongue worketh ruin. Here ended the scripture reading for tonight's program. Folks, tonight was a bongo night. And what a way to start this program right after my boy. My boy stole the whole cake. What do you say, my friend? Stole the whole cake tonight, and he light up Facebook with dotishism. Dotishism. Speech thief, behave like a donkey in Parliament tonight. And my boy fix him up nice and decent. I don't even know if I should start there, tonight, or if I should go back or go to look at Luzette's detention. But before I even look at Luzette's detention or the dotish speech thief who Major had to fix up in Parliament a while ago, before we get there, folks, let us extend sincerest condolences to the Robinson family of Lower Kittels on the passing of a young man, Mr. Ronaldo Stickon, well, what do they call him? DJ Stickon, who left us. Nice, humble young man. He packed up and he left. Packed up and left. And we also have to extend our sympathies to Mother Young of Kalekwa on the passing of her dear husband, Earl. And folks, I always said to you that St. Vincent and the Grenadines have become the nation that Adolf Hitler said he will raise up. Adolf Hitler said, I will raise up a nation without a conscience, heartless. And that is what St. Vincent has become. Who, in their wildest dreams, would imagine that after Mother Young lost all her personal belongings in a fire, and on top of that, her husband died, ain't bury her husband yet, and wicked, heartless and conscience-never people went and broke that woman's shop? You're telling me that we have a heart in this country? And then there is this other one, Cougar, Cougar who thief out my house. Almost everything. The only thing Cougar left for me is the paint on the wall. And I don't know if he's making attempts again to come thief the paint off the wall while he is in my neighborhood for almost 2 weeks now. I call the Calico police already, you know. And I beg them, please, ask Cougar to at least give me back the tablet with all the photos of my deceased son. Cougar is a wicked, heartless man too. I have a tablet and an iPad. I said, Cougar, oh God, you couldn't leave one for me? Leave the one with all my son pictures. He take it too. All the photographs of my deceased son, Cougar gone with them. And we don't even know if it's he who break Mother Young shop. Because he took my TV and now they're gone with Mother Young TV. But that is how it is in this country. We are living Hitler's dream. I hope Cougar is happy. I hope Cougar is happy. Anyhow, folks. Cougar, I have the memory of my son in my heart, so you keep the TV. If it makes you happy, you keep it. You keep it. You keep it. I don't know why Cougar is encouraged in my neighborhood. I don't know why. Anyhow, folks, we have work to do. Because Major came tonight. Boy, Major, you're not easy, boy. Folks, so help me. So help me. I don't even know where to start, but I think I'm starting. I think I'm starting with Major. I think so. I think you have to get something with Major.
Just don't make a mess of my discussion. The same, Mr. Speaker, presumably, in short, Mr. Speaker, what I want to make the point is that the working paper by senior economists, you know, we have to make provision, Mr. Speaker, we have to make provision in here for dotishism. I withdraw, Mr. Speaker.
Very well.
I withdraw the expression.
I think you're allowing yourself to be thrown.
Yes, I withdraw the expression.
Yeah, but I think you're allowing yourself to be thrown out. You have 5 more minutes. I would ask you to use that 5 minutes wisely.
And the 5 minutes wisely, Mr. Speaker, is to make the simple point that 2 of the respected economists who are at the central bank presenting a work. Could you be quiet? Could you be quiet? I have already withdrawn the expression of dotishism with respect to you. I don't want to make the same mistake twice.
Dotishism! Hey! That is the laughter that brings to get free program now. I wonder who was behind there laughing like that, boy. Who was that? Who was laughing like that behind somebody says comments? I believe so too. But folks, before they go and say how Likak behave in Parliament, listen to this force, and then we are giving you this force, because I know how they love to run off their mouth. Take this.
The opposition was nowhere to be found. They were outside making ashes of themselves.
You heard that? So let me start over, right? I'm giving you this now, because I know how they love to run off them out. I tell all you know, I have clips. I have the one with come back to Papa, but take this. That is the we call it the trump card. But listen to this one.
The opposition was nowhere to be found. They were outside making ashes of themselves.
Parliament, you
They
know.
were being very silly.
Parliament.
When the leader...
You hear that? They were in Parliament. In Parliament, he used this word.
The opposition was nowhere to be found. They were outside making ashes of themselves. They were being very...
All right, so we're stopping that there. So when you hear they start tomorrow to run off them out, we had that day waiting for them. You understand? We had that there waiting for them.
Something like $6 million per constituency or $90 million per year to transform our constituencies. And in that regard, Mr. Speaker, we could do all the things that they're talking about here. This naked and unabashedly disgraceful copying and paste of the successful NDP program of the Mitchell regime and company, which they called Gucci Chats, naming it PAVE. PAVE my neck. That's an NDP program where we did big things for the small man.
Yes.
So don't rename it and rebrand it belatedly. Mr. Speaker, I am going to speak on a program, and I'm going to speak to Minister Caesar on Agriculture, which I'm titled Project Help, HELP. Household Employment Leverage Program, Mr. Speaker. And it's my intention, Mr. Speaker, if you had finished your education, you wouldn't make an ass out of this.
Oh, Jesus! Wait. Here.
Honorable member, please. You can't.
I would draw the ask, Mr. Speaker. I wouldn't even wait on you, Mr. Speaker. I would draw the whole statement.
Come on.
I would draw it, Mr. Speaker.
Nice.
Speaker.
Make us yourself. Nice. Playing it again. Major, the done.
$6 million per constituency or $90 million per year to transform our constituencies. And in that regard, Mr. Speaker, we could do all the things that they're talking about here. This naked and unabashedly disgraceful copying and paste of the successful NDP program of the Mitchell regime and company, which they called Gucci Chats, naming it PAVE. PAVE my neck. That's an NDP program.
Tell them.
Where we did big things for the small man. So don't rename it and rebrand it belatedly. Mr. Speaker, I am going to speak on a program, and I'm going to speak to Minister Caesar on Agriculture, which I'm titled Project Help, HELP. Household Employment Leverage Program, Mr. Speaker. And it's my intention, Mr. Speaker, if you had finished your education, you wouldn't make an ass out of yourself, so you know.
Carnival in Nevis.
Camilo.
Honorable member.
Wait.
Honorable member.
No,
please.
I want that short. I wanted that short.
Something like
I wanted that cut short.
$6 million per constituency or $90 million per year to transform our constituencies. And in that regard, Mr. Speaker, we could do all the things that they're talking about here. This naked and unabashedly disgraceful copying and paste of the successful NDP program of the Mitchell regime and company, which they called Gucci Chats, naming it PAVE. PAVE my neck. That's an NDP program where we did big things for the small man. So don't rename it and rebrand it belatedly. Mr. Speaker, I am going to speak on a program, and I'm going to speak to Minister Caesar on Agriculture, which I'm titled Project Help, HELP. Household Employment Leverage Program, Mr. Speaker. And it's my intention, Mr. Speaker, if you had finished your education, you wouldn't make an ass out of yourself, so you know.
The opposition was nowhere to be found. They were outside making ashes of themselves. They were being very silly. When the leader of the opposition is hiding behind Gendlin, well, you know something wrong with their leadership.
You hiding behind Hans King. Something wrong with your leadership. Something wrong with your leadership.
Something like $6 million for constituency or $90 million.
I have to clean up that. I have to get that clean up. I have to get that clean up.
And in that regard, Mr. Speaker, we could do all the things that they're talking about here. This naked and unabashedly disgraceful copying and paste of the successful NDP program of the Mitchell regime and company, which they called Gucci Chats, no naming it PAVE. PAVE my neck. That's an NDP program where we did big things for the small man. So don't rename it and rebrand it belatedly. Mr. Speaker, I am going to speak on a program, and I'm going to speak to Minister Caesar in Agriculture, which I'm titled Project HELP, H-E-L-P. Household Employment Leverage Program, Mr. Speaker. And it's my intention, Mr. Speaker, if you had finished your education, you wouldn't make an ass out yourself. So
boy, the one they were Archie broke them up. Archie broke them up.
Honorable member, please. You can't.
I would draw the ass, Mr. Speaker. I wouldn't even wait on you, Mr. Speaker. I would draw the whole statement.
Damage already done.
I would draw it, Mr.
The damage already done.
Mr. Speaker, spoil it.
Damage already done. With Ja, he Carlos went to Parliament, and they told me they strategized, but the strategy didn't work. Strategy didn't work, not this time. Not this time. Look, try Joshua did tonight, boy. They said Joshua had said something similar when Joshua done. He said with joy dog. What Joshua? Every. What did Mr. Joshua say again when he said he with joy dog? He say he with joy dog, but he not taking back some later. Oh boy, Major come like Archie brought them up. Fix them up nice and decent. They went to Parliament with an intention. And to me, the intention was harass the NDP so much that they would walk out of the house. They would walk out of the house and then they get something now to go give the St. Vincent Howard Stone. You know, who is the Vincentian Howard Stone? Vincentian Howard Stone, you know who that is? Ask Fraudster. Fraudster will tell you who is the Vincentian Howard Stone. But they went in there, Debbie Charles and all, with one intention: harass the NDP so that they would walk out. But no, wrong number. Wrong number. Not on this occasion. Wrong number. Wrong number. So folks, so since we are speaking about Parliament and Parliament, let me just lay something on you. Because we ain't ready for Carlos James yet. When he's talking about set program and peasantry, Carlos, son of a peasant. Talking about peasantry, but Carlos, you for later. Major already fixed you up. Your thief, imagine from Ron Paul. And a guy in Parliament could play bright. Give my boy, what a way to end Parliament tonight. Folks. They were in Parliament today, carrying on about Citizen by Investment program. I can't wait until Friday. To remind you of something that you won't hear anymore by Fraudster and by Honest Cook. You won't hear them. But folks, listen to this and we'll move from there. Listen.
So, the Unity Labour Party government had repealed this country's citizenship by investment program. They did that shortly after taking office in 2001. But the program seems to be, gaining favor in the sub-region. With Grenada recently unveiling its own new version, or its own version of the program. And a report in the Indian media on the weekend from the Times, and I saw it last night, noted that the CPIs in the OECS saying that the participation nations have rolled out an attractive call for citizenship programs to woo the Indian immigrants. Now, India has a lot of millionaires, billionaires, middle-class people, of course, who have money to spend. If you look at the crickets that's going on in India every time, you'll notice that they're saying between 100,000 there or so will watch the cricket every day, sometimes for 3 weeks, 3 months, to count how long cricket goes. I can tell you, $100,000, and these cricket matches are not cheap to come in, very expensive. So you know that there's a number of persons with money who can invest, and so these countries have now rolled out the program. Grenada has a new initiative on the way. Dominica has been in it for some time. St. Kitts has been in it for some time. Antigua and Barbuda is now giving full citizenship to Indian nationals for an investment of at least US $400,000 in an approved real estate project. So here again, Antigua is not selling its passports either. I don't know why he don't talk to his friends up there in St. Kitts and ask them why they're doing what they're doing.
Nice.
And tell them to stop it because they're giving the country's patrimony.
Exactly.
Some of them like to say foolishness. The point is, Antigua here is not giving away its passports like that to come to say, come, honest, to give you $400,000, whether you live here, invest here or not, I'm giving you a passport. That's not what Antigua is doing. Antigua is a citizenship by investment program, whereby you have to invest at least $400,000 US in your country, create some jobs, build some homes, build your home, live there, invest in the country, whether you want to create a business or whatever it is, but it has to be an investment of at least $400,000. And in their case, they're doing it in an approved real estate project. So you never know the person want to put down a hotel, a motel, houses for rent, where persons can get work and such delights. St. Kitts and Nevis is also given citizenship for an investment of US $400,000. And if you go on their website, they have the program outlined as to how you get citizenship for the program. And it's just not like that. It's not just me walking into St. Kitts and saying, look, I have $400,000 US, I want a passport, and end up doing nothing. No, it doesn't happen like that. If you do that, you're giving away things and you're setting bad precedent. Of course, you could get damage for that on the international arena. So they're not selling like that. They're just selling it. In Dominica, there has to be an investment of US $100,000 that is required. All right, for the program. And then our party, of course, the New Democratic Party, supports the CPIs, Citizenship by Investment Programs. Yesterday, of course, on the program, the leader said that the longer this country takes to get on board, the more time it will take to catch up to other countries in the sub-region with similar initiatives. He said that St. Kitts and Nevis raised $52 million in 1 year from the program. And he also said that while the ULP had concerns about CPI legislation here, abolishing it was not the only option. Of course, there are a lot of concerns. People want to know that when you bring in someone, that they are legit, they're not bankrupt and all that stuff. But if you go on the premise of some who are here, bankruptcy for years, and file the bankruptcy more than one time, you will know that sometimes you have to be wary of people like that with other investments in other countries that have caused panic, and where people's monies were swindled. Right? It is. So even if you disagree with the NDP legislation some years ago, the issue is not to abolish it. That is what the leader pointed to yesterday. Also, he said that he's one of the persons who believe that the legislation is important to some extent, and if there are issues with the legislation, it's better to amend it than to get rid of it altogether. He also said this country can set a benchmark of how much can be invested and must be invested before one can qualify for citizenship. Mr. Eustace also noted that people do not seem to understand that we concentrate on what can be negative, but if you do it properly and screen the persons who are coming well before you accept them, we're not a problem. He also said that the CPIs are not the same as selling passports, as the ULP administration has attempted to present it. He said that a person has to invest money in this country before they can qualify to be a citizen. If a fellow decides I'm going to spend $250,000 and build a house, people are going to get employment from that. Lawyers will get employment. Workmen are going to get employment. People who are going to build a house will get it. I mean, we've talked about these things. Surveyors, those who employ in the income tax department get some taxes. All these are going to benefit the economy. And that is what we want to get over to the public. And he also accused the government of executing a CPI program in the sly. That is when Mr. Eustace stated Dave Ames was granted citizenship sometime after his company agreed to build Bokomen Bay.
Dave Ames.
That is the same thing we're saying should be done. The government was doing it, calling it something else, and not saying anything. Our leader said yesterday. So basically he's asking, so we go with all this politics trying to fool the public, when in fact you're doing it in the sly. And now all these countries have gone ahead.
Yes.
What do you think is going to happen when you go last behind them?
They'll tax we.
The point is you have to be careful.
We have to pay taxes through our noses.
And who you attract into the country. Make sure there are no criminals. That is the drawback. He said that this means there must be proper due diligence, ensuring people do not have a criminal record and they have not been bankrupt. This time we get over this fear because our economy is not going anywhere, and we have to take initiatives, take actions that lead to further initiative and revenues for our country. So that is the issue. That is the issue right now in terms of citizenship and citizenship by investment. We spoke about it a lot. And we are hoping that those in authority would see the light in this matter.
Nice. So, Socks, that is one. I wonder if Cook could repeat those words now that he's on Star FM. Cook, repeat those words. Let the public know that the ULP is lying. Nothing about selling passport and that has teeth, no degree, son of a cat, no picker. Come talk foolishness. So that is one. You got one, right? Another one now. Listen to this one now.
This morning I heard the Prime Minister on Star FM talking about this issue and said that he's reiterating his point that he's not selling passports. We are reiterating the point that we're not selling passports either. We don't have an issue with passports and selling passports. You don't pick up a country's passport and give someone. It's called economic citizenship.
Yes.
To place with Mr. Ames down there as well. He was here for some years, invested millions of dollars, ended up with citizenship. You're here, you're contributing to society. So don't start with that kind of rubbish. This morning I heard the Prime Minister on Star FM talking about this issue and said that he's reiterating his point that he's not selling passports. We are reiterating the point that we're not selling passports either. We don't have an issue with passports and selling passports. You don't pick up a country's passport and give someone. It's called economic citizenship. Took place with Mr. Ames down there as well. He was here for some years, invested millions of dollars, ended up with citizenship. You're here, you're contributing to society. So don't start with that kind of rubbish. This morning I heard the Prime Minister on Star FM talking about this issue and said that he's reiterating his point that he's not selling passports. We are reiterating the point that we're not selling passports either. We don't have an issue with passports and selling passports. You don't pick up a country's passport and give someone. It's called economic citizenship. Took place with Mr. Ames down there as well. He was here for some years, invested millions of dollars, ended up with citizenship. You're here, you're contributing to society. So don't start with that kind of rubbish.
The country's citizenship by investment program, as you have heard from the chairperson, is too important to be ignored. The fact was, though, it had been neglected in recent times. Unfortunately, the program had become just a program to sell passports. For me, the citizenship of my country is a prized and precious connection to the land that I love and to which I will always return. It is not something to be commoditized nor bartered away easily. I want those who become our citizens to enjoin me to build my country and help me make it the best small island state in which one would want to be born, to grow, to work, to play, and establish a family.
But Mr. Thompson was on there, and I asked him about immigration investment program of Canada, if he ever heard about it. He said he didn't know. He never heard about it. Now, I've been talking about this thing here. I've been keeping quiet, and I let him run up the mouth about this economic citizenship. You don't let everything out one time. But I decided to drop it on them for the last 2 weeks. You don't think if they're so bright, they would have gone and find out what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The program started since 1989.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good while back.
Of course. And they are claiming that they made millions for this thing. So how come the Canadians don't tell us that we could fashion our things after theirs? That is the issue, isn't it? To fashion ours after theirs, and the Americans. So what they're talking about, and of course, like you said, Mr. Yusuf, you could fashion all you want. You could make all the laws you want. People with some portions, you have to try to minimize.
That's right. I think that you'll never be able to block out every criminal.
Never happen.
But you can certainly minimize it.
Right. But the same argument they're making about economic citizenship, we are making the same argument basically about them on the airport. How come they're entitled to the argument and we're not?
If the Honorable Senator Lewis wants to know how the discretion is exercised in relation to the grant of citizenship under the law, rather than just reading it theoretically, he must become the Prime Minister, which is an unlikely event.
You hear how he answered, right? You hear how he answered in relation to Ames. Dave Ames got citizenship of this country. Who sold Dave Ames a passport? BBC talk about briefcase. I don't know anything about that. How did Dave Ames really become a citizen of this country? And on top of that, Dave Ames, how the hell he got word that police was going to arrest him? So much so, we had problems, sick, almost to death, and take one of them go fast boat and leave, just like how Nano left here on a speedboat, left St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Easy.
But the question, since they're talking linking this organization to selling sheriff's passports and that they got a contract from us and we have the money already. Yeah. And we don't spend the money, so we have to give them the contract. I would like to know, maybe Ralph Gonzalez could answer us as to whether the SCL or whoever they are got a similar contract up in St. Kitts Nevis with his pal Denzel Douglas. Is that a legitimate question?
Yeah. But St. Kitts has an economic citizenship program.
And Dominica.
Right. And Dominica.
And the next question.
I have the one for Dominica here, big 30-something or 60-something page document.
Why didn't he invite a winner to come address their convention as opposed to a couple of losers? Was he afraid of the association with SCL? The winner?
Denzel might have said, boy, you know, I make a lot of money from selling passport. What are you talking about down here?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that would have been an embarrassment to him.
Of course.
And we have Astafan too, you know. We have Anthony Astafan speaking about CBI. They want tape. Fraudster, you want tape to play tomorrow? You? Kokobe fraudster, you want tape to play tomorrow about CBI? I tell you, we are Astafan, you know. We are Astafan. But folks, can we move on? Can we move on? Because, you know, we have issues to speak about, you know. They want to go to the Privy Council with appeal. Privy Council? And Major hit them with that too. Because who could imagine, after all the things they said about Privy Council, they want to appeal, but it's the right place they're carrying this case. With the collective agreement, right place they're carrying it to the Privy Council. So let them go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And we have a big swing now. Bang! Bang! You want to hear something that you could play? You want to hear something?
I notice that a businessman from the valley here wants to be a politician. I tell him, consider another calling. Leave politics alone.
Bing, you heard that? You heard that? You know he was speaking about Ben? You know who he was speaking about?
I notice that a businessman from the valley here wants to be a politician. I tell him, consider another calling. Leave politics alone.
You understand why they take away land? We have Julian speaking about him. You know. Let me go look for Julian and come back, right? Bear with me. I'm coming back. I'm coming. Don't move a muscle. I'm coming back.
Israel who really love rights. For just a time as a watchman around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel. I should never hold thy peace. Should have bust down Babylon walls. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for your people. Fight down war and crime. Fight down war and crime. Rasta fight down war and crime. And build up righteousness. You know Jah Rastafari.
Now the Bower Mountain Road, Mr. Speaker, you would recall years ago there was a talk that monies were allocated for a bridge at Bower. This was in the Bigger Bigs debacle. And that the money was spent and the bridge never got built. But Mr. Speaker, honestly, in my opinion, there's nothing to build the bridge on. It's pure Rabakasan in Bower. So we have to look at an alternative access for the farmers to get to Bower rather than using and building that present access that we have. It has been assessed, and there is a lot of discussion ongoing in the engineering field on the approach to that. Now the Bower Mountain Road, Mr. Speaker, you would recall years ago there was a talk that monies were allocated for a bridge at Bower. This was in the Bigger Bigs debacle. And that the money was spent and the bridge never got built. But Mr. Speaker, honestly, in my opinion, there's nothing to build the bridge on. It's pure Rabakasan in Bower. So we have to look at an alternative access for the farmers.
Alternative access is to use Bigger Bigs property as thoroughfare. That is a lot of wicked in this country.
To get to Bower, rather than using and building that present access that we have. It has been assessed, and there is a lot of discussion ongoing in the engineering field on the approach to that.
Remember what these people are working for. They're not working to make sure that NDP win back for the education revolution to continue. They're not making sure they vote for NDP for the airport to continue. They're making sure that they work for NDP so that if NDP win, they will get what they want, like Bigger Bigs want to have a car.
But he already had it. He bought it. He bought lands at Rabuka, so it's his place.
I noticed that a businessman from the valley here want to be a politician. I tell him, consider another calling.
You hear that for the wicked people there? Hear them?
Alone. This is where the NDP reached out. They want to rent a crowd. They're renting Bigger Big 60 workers. Is a rent a crowd they're looking for? You see, when Bigger Big says that is politics, you know, I really say to myself, these fellas, why they don't look into the mirror?
You must look into your mirror. You look inside of it. You.
Which government was in power when he got the permission to mine sand at Rabuka? Was the Unity Labour Party government? I know in 2001 he was with NDP, leave NDP, come to us.
That why I spiked him.
Then shortly he left.
Spiked him.
Bigger Bigs come by me and tell me he's a man that when NDP talking about the project now.
Wait. You hear same stupidness it try with Marlon Butte last week? When Marlon Butte had to fix him up nice and decent, but bing. Too cool. Look, you got the gist now, right? Big engineers in this country, hey, and don't know the soil type out at Rabuka. Sign contract with Carib contractors to build bridge. I came on this very station and I told you, Colbert reach all of St. Lucia because they wash way. Where the money gone? Where the money gone?
Now the Bower Mountain Road, Mr. Speaker. You would recall years ago there was a talk that monies were allocated for a bridge at Bower. This was in the Bigger Bigs debacle. And that the money was spent and the bridge never got built. But Mr. Speaker, honestly, in my opinion, there's nothing to build the bridge on. It's pure Rabakasan in Bower.
Hear that?
So we have to look at an alternative access for the farmers to get to Bower rather than using and building that present access that we have. It has been assessed, and there is a lot of discussion ongoing in the engineering field on the approach to that.
You heard them. So I'm giving you some material there for when you hear them speaking. Because tomorrow, they're going up on a piece of private property owned by Leon Bigger Biggs to say they're going to Magellan. They're going to, what do you call it? Survey the land. And I hear about a false deed. They have out there about investigating the false deed they have up there in Rabuka. But listen again to this. No bridge. Money is allocated, spent. Where the money gone?
Now the Bower Mountain Road, Mr. Speaker. You would recall years ago, there was a talk that monies were allocated for a bridge at Bower. This was in the Bigger Biggs debacle. And that the money was spent and the bridge never got built. But Mr. Speaker, honestly, in my opinion, there's nothing to build the bridge on. It's pure Rabuka sand in Bower. So we have to look at an alternative access for the farmers to get to Bower rather than using and building that present access that we have. It has been assessed, and there is a lot of discussion ongoing in the engineering field on the approach to that.
I meant to say this too. Now tell me, fellas, Julian Francis. All right, so we had one. Julian Francis had his foolish utterance. Totally stupid. Just like the airport utterance, just like the bridge over troubled water, he will do it again. Somebody ought to put a muzzle on him. He's an idiot.
All right.
Just remember the time with a certain fella got, during the referendum, a fella got a whole bunch of money for computerizing thing, remember him?
Yes.
Yes.
And Julian Francis wrote some letter supposedly explaining the thing, remember?
Yes.